Watch this. And this was the whole problem. See, it wasn't the fact that they were not obeying the law or obeying the law and any of that kind of stuff, right? The fact was the only thing they had a problem with was this right here. All right. Look at this. Malachi chapter 1. A son honors his father, a servant his master. If then I am a father to Israel, where's my honor? And if I am a master, where's my reverence? Says the Lord of hosts. To you, what? Priests. What were the Pharisees? Priests. What were the Sadducees? Priests. Who do what? They despise the name of the God, of the God of heaven, the Holy One of Israel. And look at their answer. You, the priests, say to me, in what way, Lord, do we despise your name? Don't you see us giving the tithe? Don't you see us dressed the way you want us to dress? Don't you see us going through the rituals and holding the people accountable, telling them what to do and not to do? Listen to God. You, Mr. Priest, offer defiled food on my altar. What? Friends, the food, the animals represented Christ. And if what they offered was defiled, you know what they were saying? That Christ had sinned. That's what defiled means. So, the only thing that God gave to Israel to get rid of their sins, God did not give them the law to get rid of their sins. God gave them the law to prove that they were sinners, that they couldn't keep it. That's why he gave them the sacrifices. But instead of taking the thing that will remove their sins, what did they do? They went after the thing that proved that they were a sinner. They tried to keep the law, which no one can keep. And they looked at the offering and they despised it. Listen to God. But you offer defiled food on my altar. But say, listen, they don't even know. Here's the priest, and listen to what they say. In what way have we defiled you, God? By saying, listen, this is what they were saying. The table, what? The table of the Lord is contemptible? What table? He's not talking about the table where you and I do, what do you call it? Communion. This isn't the table of communion. He's talking to the priest. What they will order to do. Friend, this is the burnt altar. And the table where they sat, where they killed the animals and dissected the animals. Let's just call it the sacrifice. That's the tables they're talking about. See? Do I have it? No, I don't have it up there. But look, folks, I gotta show it to you. I gotta show you what he's talking about. Because this is so very important that you understand what God was saying. And why these people had a problem. And they had a big problem, friends. Look at this. This is the tables God was talking about right here. So when God told them the table, he was talking about this, the brazen altar, where they put the sacrifice. But these slaughter tables right here, it's where they took the animals to cut them up. So these are the tables and the altar that God was talking about. So when you come back here, now that you got a visual and you see what they said and read what they said, look, the table of the Lord is what? Contemptible. Friends, if you look that word up, they said it was despicable. And when you offer, look, they were offering the blind. Is it not evil? They were offering the lame and the sick. And they were offering that to a holy God. And the law said, don't do it. This is what they thought about God. This is what they thought about Christ. This is a big deal. So they wanted God to be gracious and accept them and all that stuff. Look at what God said. He says, hey, verse 10, who is there among you, that is the priest, is there just one of you, one priest, who would take the doors where they open up, these doors right here, this door right here is what God was talking about. Okay? Let me blow it up. So when God was saying, if somebody would shut the door, this is the door he's talking about right here. Because only the priest was allowed back here. Here's the slaughter tables, right? And the burnt brazen altars right here. And the tables that he was talking about is right here. So God is saying, if I wish there was just one of you priests who would take these doors and shut them. Why would he take those doors and shut them? Why? So that you would not kindle fire on my altar in vain. God says, shut the door. Don't even come near my altars or my tables. I wish there was just one of you. Guess what, friends? He couldn't find one. I have no pleasure in you, nor will I accept an offering from your hands. But they were still giving them. And they thought they were doing a good thing. And the people were. Just like they do in church today. People get up there and speak gibberish and give some crazy, unbiblical testimony. And people, from the rising of the sun even to the going down, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And they, whoa, wait, what, God? He's talking to Jews. And now he's saying his name is going to be great among the Gentiles. In every place, incense, which is prayer, shall be offered to my name in a pure offering. What pure offering? He's talking about his son. In his son. For my name shall be great among the nations. Oh, friend. This is so, look, I have to do this again. But you priests, profane it, in that you say, listen to what they said about God's table. is defiled, and its fruit, yes, its fruit, the fruit of salvation, the food is the sacrifice, is contemptible. You say also, oh, what a weariness! And listen to this, you sneer at it, says the Lord of hosts, and you bring the stolen, the lame, the sick, does you offer it? Should I accept this? Curse be your hand. I mean, just, it aggravates me, folks. I got to go back. Okay, let's get into Matthew 24. So that's what he was doing. He just waded into these people and just talked about them because they were hypocrites. All right. Now that you know what the priests were doing, you can see why Jesus was all over them, and then these rascals was planning behind the scenes to kill him. Then Jesus went out and departed. He went out of the temple and he departed from the temple grounds. His disciples came to show him the buildings. So what buildings are they showing him? They're showing him all this stuff right here. Okay, this is what they're showing him. Not only, so this truly right here, go and look at it. This part right here is really the temple. Now, all of this is the temple ground, but what God gave them was this right here. Okay? That's what God gave them. All of this stuff is just stuff that Herod added, which is okay, right? There was no women's court and all that other stuff. All these stuff back here, there was none of that. What did God do? God gave them just this part right here. Herod built the rest of this. Okay, when Solomon built the temple, temples didn't have all of this. The only thing Solomon's temple had was this right here. This is what Solomon's temple had. That's it. Now, you do a quick comparison, and you say, okay, let's go look at this. And we look at this, and you go compare it against what God gave to them. You see how simple this was? It's Herod that made the temple into this monstrosity right here. And here's another shot at it right here. And you can see how big the courts and everything was when Herod just made it some grand stands. All this stuff is garbage, man. God didn't want none of that. That came from man. All right. So there you have it, friends. That's so when Jesus started talking to his disciples, this is what the buildings that he's talking about, all those buildings that surrounded the temple. Okay? Show him the buildings of the temple, and Jesus said, do you not see all these things? All what things? All the buildings and the temple. Assuredly I say to you, not one stone shall be left upon another that shall not be thrown down. Then, this is what I wanted you to see tonight. Watch this. We're going to do a comparison.